ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं
नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
ततो जयमुदीरयेत्।
ततो जयमुदीरयेत्।
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
केवया
भगवती उत्तमश्लोके
भगवती उत्तम श्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी।
भक्तिर्भवति
भक्तिर्भवति
नैष्टिकी।
नैष्ठिकी।
So, reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, title Conclusion, the perfection of renunciation. And today's verse is verse number 59. Yat yahankaram ashritya
यत्
यत्
अहङ्कारम्
अहङ्कारम्
आश्रित्य
आश्रित्य
na yatso iti manyase
न
न
युत्स
योत्स्य
इति
इति
मन्यसे।
मन्यसे
मिथ्यास्य व्यवसायस्ते
मिथ्या एष
मिथ्यायुष
व्यवसायस्ते।
व्यवसायसे
prakritim to niyokshati.
प्रकृतिं तु
स्वाम
नियोक्ष्यति।
योक्ष्यति।
Yat yahankaram ashritya
यद् अहङ्कारम् आश्रित्य
na yatso iti manyase
न
न
योत्स्य
युत्स इति
इति
मन्यसे।
मन्यसे
मिथ्यास्य व्यवसायस्य
मिथ्या एष
मिथ्यैष
व्यवसायते।
व्यवसाय
प्रकृतिस्त्वं नियक्षति.
प्रकृति त्वां
प्राकृतिस्त्वां
नियोक्ष्यति।
नियोक्ष्यति।
Anyone would like to lead?
यद् अहङ्कारम् आश्रित्य
यत्
यदि
अहङ्कारम् आश्रित्य
अहङ्कारमाश्रित्य
न युत्स इति मन्यसे।
न योत्स्य
न
इति
यशो इति
मन्यसे।
मन्यसे
मिथ्या एष व्यवसायते।
मिथ्य एष
मिथ्यैष
व्यवसायस्ते।
व्यवसायस्ते
प्रकृतिं त्वां नियोक्ष्यति।
प्रकृतिं त्वां
प्रकृतिस्त्वां
नियोक्ष्यति।
नियोक्ष्यति। यद् अहङ्कारम् आश्रित्य
यद् अहङ्कारम् आश्रित्य
यहङ्कारमाश्रित्य
न योत्स्य इति मन्यसे।
न युत्स
न
इति
यत्स इति
मन्यसे।
मन्यसे
मिथ्यैष व्यवसायस्ते।
मिथ्या एष
मिथ्यैष
व्यवसायस्ते।
व्यवसायस्ते
प्रकृतिस्त्वां नियोक्ष्यति।
प्रकृति त्वां
प्रकृतिं
नियोक्ष्यति।
नियोक्ष्यति. Thank you very much. Word by word meaning. Yat if.
यत्
यत्
इत्
if
Ahankaram,
अहङ्कारम्
अहङ्कारम्
a false ego.
a
ऑफ
false
फॉल्स
ego
ईगो।
Ashritya,
आश्रित्य
आश्रित्य
taking shelter.
taking
टेकिंग
shelter
शेल्टर।
Nayatse,
न
Nayotse,
न
न
युत्सते।
योत्स्ये
I shall not fight.
I
आई
shall
शैल
not
नॉट
fight
फाइट।
Iti thus.
इति
इति
thus
दस।
Manyase, you think.
मन्यसे यू थिंक।
Mithya esha,
मिथ्य
मिथ्या
एष
एष।
this is all false.
this
दिस
is
इज
all
ऑल
false
फॉल्स।
Vyavasaya,
व्यवसाय।
व्यवसायः
determination.
determination
डिटर्मिनेशन।
Te, your.
ते
ते
your
योर।
Prakriti,
प्रकृति
प्रकृति ही।
material nature.
material
मटीरियल
nature
नेचर।
Tvam, you.
त्वां
त्वां
you
यू
Niyokshati,
नियोक्ष्यति।
नियोक्ष्यति
you will engage.
will
यू विल
engage
एंगेज।
Translation by Divine Grace S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai.
teacher.
If you do not act
If
If
you
you do
do not
not act
act
according to my direction
according
according
to
to
my
my
direction
direction
and do not fight,
and do
and do
not
not
fight,
fight,
then you will be falsely directed.
then you will
then
be
you will be
falsely directed.
falsely directed.
By your nature,
By
By
your
your
nature,
nature,
you will have to be engaged in warfare.
you have
you
to
will
be
have to
engaged.
be engaged in warfare.
Purport by Divine Grace S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Anyone would like to read this page of purport?
Arjun was a military man and born of the nature of the Kshatriya. Therefore, his natural duty was to fight. But due to false ego, he was fearing that by killing his teacher, grandfather, and friends, he would incur sinful reactions. Actually, he was considering himself master of his actions, as if he were directing the good and bad results of such work. He forgot that the Supreme Personality of Godhead was present there, instructing him to fight. That is forgetfulness of the conditioned soul. The Supreme Personality give direction as to what is good and what is bad, and one simply has to act in Krishna consciousness to attain the perfection of life. No one can ascertain his destiny as the Supreme Lord can. Therefore, the best course is to take direction from the Supreme Lord and act. No one should neglect the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or the order of the spiritual master, who is the representative of God. One should act unhesitatingly to execute the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That will keep one safe under all circumstances.
Thank you very much. Let's all chant together, glorifying our acharyas. Agyana timirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurmilitam tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swaram Rupakata Mayam Swapadantam Vandeham Sri Guru Sripadakam Sri Guru Vaishnava Sri Rupam Sagrajam Sarvana Raghunatham Mahantam Sadvaitam Savadutam Paripanasartam Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya Devam
Chaitanya Devam
Sri Radha
Radha
Krishna
Krishna
Padam
Padam
Sagana Lalita Sri
Sahaganalita Shri
Vishakha
Visakamvitamsha
He
He
Krishna
Krishna
Karuna
Karuna
Sindhu
Sindhu
Nasindhu
Dinabandhu
Dinabando
Jagatpati
Jagatpate
Gopesha Gopika
Vishabhupita
Kanta Radha
Kanta Radha
Kanta
Namaste
Kanta
Namaste
Namostute
Saptakanchana
Saptakanchana
Gaurangi Radhe
Gaurangi
Vrindavani
Radhe
Ade
Vrindavaneshwari
Vrindavaneshwari
Bhanu Sute
Vanu
Devi
Sute Devi
Pranamami Hari
Pranamami
Priya
Hari Priye
Panchakalpa Tarubhasya Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam
Patitanam
Pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo Namo
Vaishnavebhyo
Namo
Namo
Jai
Namo
Shri Krishna
Shri Krishna
Chaitanya
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 Prabhu
Prabhu
Nityananda
Nityananda
Shri
Nityananda
Advaita
Shri
Gadadhar
Advaita
Shivas
Gadadhara
Adi
Srivasa
Gaura Bhakta
Gaura Bhakta
Vrinda
Vrinda
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Rama
Hare
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 Rama Hare
Rama
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 Hare
Rama
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 Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Nilachala Nivasaya
Masaya
Jaya
Nityaya Paramatmane
Paramatmane Balabhadra
Balabhadra
Subhadrabhyam
Subhadrabhyam Jagannath
Nathaya Te
Iti
Namah.
Namaha.
So thank you so much for joining this wonderful Sangha. It's a very powerful verse. And this is a emphatic way for the Lord to convey to us that whether you want to follow the manual of life or you can work whimsically. So, so here there are a couple of areas which we need to really discuss. Uh, Lord is saying if you are controlled by ahankara, that means yat ahankara ashritya. If you are controlled or taking shelter of ahankara, and that is telling you not to fight, here he's talking to Arjuna, then that is mithya. So Krishna is emphatically saying is anyone who controls his actions through his ahankar is mithya, is false. And mithya is a vyavasayaste, prakritistom niyakshati. That means who is Prakriti in this case? Krishna is mentioning in Bhagavad Gita in many different places that the Prakriti or the material nature has come from him. So when you engage your actions by the direction of He, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then you'll do the right thing. Engaging under the jurisdiction of Ahankar is a miscalculation which will result in your failure. So whether you want to be controlled, people say we are self-controlled. What is self-controlled? Are you controlled by your whims and fancies? Or are you controlled by the knowledge, by the instructions of the spiritual master or the parampara? So that's the discussion we're going to have today. But before that, as we always do, we want to discuss how Gita, in the 18th chapter, in Krishna consciousness, this is the most important chapter. That's why we're doing one after other. How it has evolved, how Krishna is emphasizing modes, analysis, knowledge, karma, karta, buddhi, dhriti, determination, fruits of action, happiness, and then eventually he is dovetailing into surrendering onto him. How he's gradually explaining that your actions are driven by two things. What you are basically doing now, if you see, is based on two things. Janma karma, that is your prior janma based on how you have behaved in the past, and karma based on your actions. And the second thing, actions, as Krishna in the 18th chapter has so deliberately gone into the modes. So essentially, your action today, whatever you're doing, you are signing off for Bhagavad Gita discussion, or whatever you are doing, going to work, is based on Janma Karma. Because Krishna says, Chaturvarnam Maya Shrishtam Janma Karma Vivagasa. That based on Janma Karma. And the second thing which drives your action is your mode. In the morning, you may be in mode of goodness. In the lunchtime, you may be mode of ignorance with a lot of, tough meetings, with a lot of firefighting going on. In the evening, you are feeling sleepy. So you are in total tamasic mode. So your action today is driven by your past, janma, how you're born, your conditions, prarabdha karma, based on how you have, when I mean karma, I don't mean your current karma, based on your prarabdha karma. So based on your past and based on your prarabdha karma, and how you're placed in the current mode, goodness, passion, ignorance. That's how your action is driven. Okay. So why you see, two kids in the same family, they're born from the same,
Hmm?
but they will be totally diametrically opposite. They will be
Okay.
totally diametrically opposite. So what that means
Okay.
is, what that means is, Prabhujis and Matajis, is two kids born from the same parent, they are not the same because their prarabdha karma are different. Their past actions are different. And based on the past actions, the paths are different. And then current modes, how their modes are controlled, how much detached they are, how well they are. You see, Dhruva Maharaj, you see Hiranyakashipu has so many progenis, but Prahlad Maharaj was unique. Ravana had many brothers. I mean, he had two prominent, of course, because the parents at the time it was allowed to have, multiple uh, consorts. So, but you see, Vibhishan was mode of goodness. So he was from the same Janma Karma in a way because he was born from the same parents, but the behaviors, the modes were different. So your actions are different by your prarabdha karma, how you're born. You're born is, so that's why we say we put a lot of emphasis on our parents in our upbringing, and then your current modes. And then Arjuna had a choice. Arjuna had a choice to fight or not fight. So if you would end up fighting, and if he dies, then he will be considered as a martyr, or he'll go and achieve Veer Gati, right? That's what they say. But if he doesn't fight, he's not only faltering in his ability to do action, but he is also going to be cursed in the society. So fighting, whether you win or a loss, is actually a win-win. So that's something we have to think about. And then you can work under action or inaction. You can act by the manual given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or get control by ahankar, or work whimsically. Let's take an example here. See, whenever you have a maths problem, your teacher would have told you that these are the steps you end up doing to get to the result. But actually, if you look at it, there are probably 3 or 4 different ways to solve the problem. But the teacher tells you the right way to solve the problem, the methodical way to solve the problem. And of course, teachers are different. If you are sometimes tutoring your kids in maths, you solve it in such a way because that's how your teacher has got you into the fold of understanding maths steps, this after that. But if you see the kids over here in Northern America and other places, the method is different. So the method has evolved. So in India, the method or the unary way of solving mathematical problems, as you may have seen, one pencil is, 50 cents. How much is 10 pencils? There is a unary way. And in order to complete the job, one, 5 people working for, 10 days can complete the job. But after 2 days, out of 5, 2 left. How long the rest of the work is going to take? So these are all mathematical techniques which are all explained to you by your teacher. But in doing that, this doesn't have a straightforward answer. If you see, it has some steps. It has a formulated manual steps. And that manual of life is written by the person who has created life. The person who has created life for us is creating the manual for life. When you have a TV by Samsung or Panasonic, Panasonic will tell you how to run the TV. Samsung will tell you how to run the TV. You can't push any button in a Samsung TV reading the manual of Panasonic TV, and vice versa. You cannot run a Samsung TV running the Panasonic remote, or likewise a Panasonic TV using a Samsung remote. They are wired differently, they are programmed differently. So that's why who is the creator of our life? The Supreme Personality of Godhead. Our parents have realized that by giving us physical words, but the soul and super soul in our heart is owned, has the proprietary rights by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here the Supreme Personality of Godhead is saying that you have a choice, the choice of following my path or following your path. And so that is why the steps are important. When I was teaching my daughter long back, I was explaining maths in certain ways which did not align with the way her teacher was doing, and that is absolutely fine. But because the math has evolved and there has been a lot of research and trying to find the path is important. How to take the steps to, it's actually, the importance is in the journey, not in the destination. The destination excitement is very short lived, but the path to get there is significant. So, why Guru in our life is important? It's that step which Guru gives us, which takes us to that destination. So Guru has done enough research. He has done enough studies. And that study is power packed by his Guru, by his Guru. That's why when Krishna's message is read by us, in comparison to that, it's sweeter if Krishna's message is spoken by our Guru, by his Guru, by his Guru. Because with the additional time, with this disciplic succession, if you have the right Guru, then the quality of your reception is significant. So that's why Guru is important. So you have a choice to follow the manual, or you have a choice to not follow the manual. And make no mistake, we have a carried away way to do it. So here Krishna is saying one more thing. You will do something. You will do something. You will do some work. If a glass is half full, you will try to put something in that half glass. You'll put water, or you'll put some, unauthorized, irregulated material and try to drink it. You will put something. You cannot not put something. But if you go under the jurisdiction of a guru or me, and the guru being my representative, you'll put the right thing. So that is the reason why a knife is going to cut. He's definitely going to cut. It's going to cut a potato, it's going to cut an eggplant, or it's going to cut some human being. It's going to happen. A matchbox is going to do the trick. It will incense the flame in your cooking system. It's going to incense a flame in your agarbatti as you offer, and it's going to incense a cigarette. The choice is with, but how you use it is yours. How you use it. So you have a choice, and that's why Krishna is saying you have a choice to take shelter of yat ahankaram ashrityam. That means you can take shelter of your ahankar, but at the same time you have a choice. You can take shelter of me. But when you take shelter of me, I will give you the right instruction, and I'll tell you the right steps. I'll tell you the right sequential steps to. So in chapter 2, if you have seen, Arjuna was saying, hey, if I lose, the 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 opponents will win, and the opponents will sort of have engage with, because all the men and sons will be dead. They will engage, and there will be varna sanskar will be affected. That means there will be pollution in my family. So what was he doing? He was trying to think ahead of his times. So we have prescribed duties. Let's not go beyond our boundaries to try to do something by saying that, hey, so this mentality is called anxiety. You're anxiously thinking ahead, which you should not be thinking. That's why anxiety is not a normal thing, it's an abnormal thing. And in many places, anxiety is treated as a mental disease. Arjuna was anxious. He was anxious. He was anxiety. He was full of anxiety. So he was into a disease. He was not thinking about his, the prescribed duty. So my dear devotees, this is a true yardstick for a choice. We all have a choice. And by following the manual created by the person who created the manual, you are working towards success. For you, it's a win-win if you follow the instruction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As he's saying, if you do not act according to my direction and do not fight, then you will be false. You will be directed somehow. The half glass will be filled with something. You will do something. If you don't have a full planned job or whatever, you will do something. You will do some mistake. If there are certain personalities you may have seen, they're wired the same way. You see, they will be caught. They will fight the legal system. They will get out. They will once again go back. You'll do something. And that cleansing of nature, you see, there are certain, sports persons you may have seen in the news. That person, by default, he is getting back into the jail. If you see, follow, he or she will fight. He'll get out. But the nature, the inherent nature, a snake is bound to bite. However you try to do it, is bound to bite. It's your nature. Your nature drives a lot of things, and you're controlled by the modes of material nature. So instead of thinking too much, trying to be, my unique way and all, any person who has gone and tried to find my own unique way, finally have succumbed to the belief that there is someone else who is controlling. Newton, for example, when he is praised towards the end, he said, at that point in time, the Supreme Lord gave me intelligence. It's not that for the first time I'm seeing the apple falling down. I had seen apples falling down before, but at that point in time, Lord gave him the right intelligence. Apohanamcha. He can take he can take your he can take your knowledge away, memories away. He can give you forgetfulness. At that point in time, my mind all got wired. I felt. He didn't say it this way, but I'm just paraphrasing. And that's led to the laws of gravity. So we can go on, but would like to end here by saying that you have a choice, make the right choice by following the manual of life. With that, I'd like to end, but hear your reflections, comments, and your point of view. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any comments? Yes, Prabhuji. You want to say something? You are on mute if you want to say something.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Dandavat
Prabhu.
Prabhu. Thanks, Prabhuji. Very clear explanation. This is kind of a question we can brainstorm. So we have a certain duty, Prabhuji, which is basically that's what Krishna is telling here to basically by nature you'll do your duty, right? You're Kshatriya. You will fight. You don't want to fight because of mithya, right? Because of the illusion we are thinking that this is right, this is wrong, and we are not there. So here Arjuna has got Krishna, and we have also got Krishna, Prabhuji. I'm not telling that we have, but we are not as pure as Arjuna that Krishna will. We will understand Krishna might be talking to us even today also, but we may not be able to understand his direction, right, Prabhuji? So how my main struggle always is that how to understand Krishna in these situations where our thoughts overpower what Krishna is trying to tell, either in form of circumstances or situations.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, very nice. How to understand Krishna? Because sometimes Krishna may be revealing himself, but we will not be able to understand. Like,
Right.
say, for example, there are certain frequencies some birds can recognize, but our common ear cannot recognize. Most of the frequency which our phone can pick, but we cannot pick. That's why it doesn't hurt us. But if you make it too close, it may affect the brain. So how do we hear, or how do you receive Krishna? What is our receptors? What is that antenna in our head which we can receive? Quite a lot of these things, this verse, for example, the way Srila Prabhupada has put it, where he takes word by word, he tries to put as is. That's why this is Bhagavad Gita as is. And then he comes and tries to give an example in his purport. It's very simple to understand. So things you may have read Gita, Bhagavad Gita before, but the Srila Prabhupada's way of presentation has made Bhagavad Gita very acceptable. So what is Prabhupada doing here? He's becoming a acharya for us. Through his example, he is providing God's message to us. So we cannot, there are a lot of things, for example, if the physics teacher in your life did not spend enough time with you, you wouldn't have learnt anything in physics. Think about you given a physics book and being asked to write theorems and solve problems. You definitely needed a physics teacher in your life. And here, Srila Prabhupada is so simplifying this complex Sanskrit slokas, where ahankaram is used so many times in Bhagavad Gita. Yad ahankaram. Ahankara means you're trying to take shelter of your thinking, your false ego, which has been corrupted. If your thinking had been pious, you wouldn't be taking wrong steps. So, to add to it, you definitely know the answer, but to add to what you just said, Prabhu, you need that guide. That guide who has understood, who can clear your doubts. In this lifestyle, nobody has time to really read and can understand it very clearly. This is where you need association of devotees. You may have little doubts, they will sharpen it, they will clear it. So we all need gurus in our life. We had a physics guru, but for life we choose to lead. Like for physics we had a guru, for maths we had a guru, for electrical engineering we had guru, for computer science we had guru. But for life we choose not to take a recourse from a guru, where Lord himself is saying many times, evam parampara praptam. This knowledge can only be understood by a devotee and a friend. Bhakta sima sakha cheti. A devotee can understand and a friend can understand. And also, this knowledge is through disciplic succession. Evam parampara praptam. Is that okay, bro? Or you want to add something?
My no, Prabhuji. That definitely, yeah. The guru um is the torch bearer, basically. But in situations where what my perplexity is, Prabhuji, Krishna is telling you, but out of false ego or out of ignorance or out of we are unable to catch that frequency which the radio is trying to send the frequency. We are unable to catch it. I know it comes with purity, association, practice, devotion, um, but just brains. That's why I told Prabhu we have to brainstorm that how to catch that. Krishna as a super soul in our heart always directs everyone, Prabhu, not only devotees. He directs everyone. Devotees tend to listen, non-devotees tend to ignore the direction, basically.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So yeah, how to in situations, in some situations, how to understand is where my struggle is, Prabhuji, always. How to understand what is the direction of Krishna.
Mm. Yes, yes. Balaprabhu, you want to add something?
Yeah, just a quick observation. It's like old radio where you use the antenna to catch the signals, right?
Mm.
So unless you're in tune with that frequency, you'll never catch the signal. So it takes a lot of attempts, a lot of doing, and sometimes you have the antenna and the wind blows it away, and you thought you caught the frequency. And so your antenna should be, in order for, at least in my perspective, I'm thinking that for us to understand or get the message this, or what is Krishna is telling you, is that they be constantly in that mode of operation. And if you're not constantly in that mode of operation, because we have a lot of different distractions that are going on in life, and these distractions take you away from what is the central purpose of what you're trying to achieve. And even in the mind, I mean, I'm chanting and all of a sudden some other thought comes, and all of a sudden I'm just following the thought instead of continuing the chanting and, continuing this. I'm chanting by mouth, but I'm not, feeling it in the sense that I say, okay, now it's, I've done 100, but what did I actually do? I didn't follow that chanting in there. And these things happen all the time. And you have to be in that mode, and to get into the mode and be in it all the time is one of the most difficult things. And that requires constant practice. And I don't think without that you'll be able to achieve it. At least that's my view.
Definitely. Thank you. Leela Satyamata, you want to say something?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranam to all. So recently I was hearing one of the lecture there, Maharaj was mentioning that uh, as Prabhuji was asking the same question, one of the devotee asked that it is like because the mind is so loud, we could not able to hear Paramatma's voice. So in Bhagavad Gita also Krishna mentions when mind is conquered, then we could clearly hear the voice of Krishna. And to hear the voice of Krishna, to conquer the mind, we have to read the scriptures very scrutinizingly and internalize those scriptures. The hearing and chanting has to be very attentively. Maharaj was giving all these things. Then we can improve. We can see the world through scriptures. So Shastra Chakshu. When the Shastra Chakshu is developed and we can see everything in a Krishna conscious way, then that at that point we could able to hear the voice of Paramatma, Krishna. That's what Maharaj mentioned, Prabhuji. I just want to add it. I don't know what.
Yeah, thank you,
Thank you.
Mataji. Yeah, definitely the scriptures will give the direction, Mataji. Yeah, but and for that way, as you that's new info, at least understanding I got, Mataji, when you told when we conquer our mind, maybe it will distort all the other frequencies which we don't want to, we will not catch. We will try to catch the frequency which Krishna is trying to give, basically. So that's the message I learned from you. Thank you, Mataji.
Haribol, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Nice, very nice. So, on that note, right? So, why scriptures are important? Scriptures provide examples. It's not as if everything written in scriptures.
Hare Krishna.
You see, there will be a character in the scripture, there will be another character in the scripture, and the Maharaj or the sannyasi and the Maharaj, he will take it and try to explain to us in a way by which gives the perspective of life. Many people without gurus will say, you know, Lakshman cutting the nose and ear of Suparnaka is good. And Ravan coming and uh, sort of stealing Mother Sita is good because his sister was initially hurt by Lakshman. That's a lack of, and he did the right thing, people will say. So this is what is happening nowadays. Nowadays, quite a lot of anecdotes from the scriptures are taken and are misrepresented. Is not as per the Shastric explanation. So, which is why you need a referee. You need somebody who can discern, and and once that righteousness, that Shastra Chakshu, as Mataji put it, is ingrained in us, we will start taking the right decisions in our life. That's something I thought I'll add. And being attentive is definitely, because it's important, because in this world the attention span is limited, and with this phone and all constantly engaging, our attention spans have gone down. There's too many distractions. Any meeting you go in office, or it's very difficult to focus, and this focus is being taken away gradually. And those are certain things I think we discussed where Bala Prabhu spoke about constant attention, and Mataji spoke about Shastra Chakshu as to how to sort of give the scriptures a place in our hearts and minds so that it's cleansed. Thank you for the participation. Any other comments? So this is a very fulfilling verse actually. This reinforces our ability to surrender. And here particularly Krishna is saying surrender, surrender, surrender. And if you don't surrender, you're basically whimsically leading your life. Okay, any final words before we close? Thank you for your attention. It was it was so power packed by Krishna that I think it should be understood by a close knit group of devotees, and give Bhagavad Gita and Krishna a total chance in our lives. Otherwise, our life doesn't have any chance. Okay, so with that, like to end here. Thank you so much for your participation, because whenever you bring some of these views, it reinforces. We all learn from each other, and this is a close knit group where we learn some of the techniques. Anyone wants to add any final thoughts?
One point which is coming to my mind, at many places in Bhagavad Gita, if you see the whole route, Prabhuji, many places Arjuna is still not convinced until this verse, until 1859, Prabhuji, that I have to fight. Only in the very end, Prabhuji, he says, now my illusion is gone and I am ready to fight Krishna. Though he, in many places, he told that Narada, Sita, Dhavalas, everybody recognizes you, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So for a pure devotee itself, a it takes a lot of devotion and surrender, Prabhuji, to come to that state. At least that's what was crossing my mind when, until 1859 also, Krishna was not sure that Arjuna is convinced or not. All the way from 1.1.
True.
Means we have to stay the course. That's what I'm telling. We have to stay the course under scriptures, under acharyas, under association and sadhana. And of course, finally, the sacrifice of the yuga. Maybe that time we may be able to hear Krishna exactly what he wants us to tell.
Definitely. That's why Guru Sadhu Shastra is so critical in our life.
Exactly.
We have
Guru
to.
Shastra Sangha. And
Niranjan Prabhu, you wanted to say something? Thank you, Bhakti Ratnakar Prabhu,
Hare
for
Krishna.
your comment.
Yeah, Prabhuji, nice class. Thank you so much for your association. I'm traveling to India next week. This time I'm planning for Kartik Mas. I'm going to Mysore. Yeah, just want to give an update.
Very, very nice, Prabhu. Very nice.
So Prabhuji
So
can learn
you,
from there, like For one whole month you are going, or only for few days?
Uh, like my trip start from Tuesday, and I will be back in October 20, 21, so 21. Yeah. So I'm planning like first Mayapur, then Mayapur to Jagannath Puri, then Vrindavan, then I will be like.
Okay. So, Prabhu, are you going with devotees or you're going alone?
As of now, alone Prabhuji, but I have one of my friend, Mayapur, so I will try to
Yeah.
visit.
Yeah. I just want to say something, Prabhu. When you go, right, there are many exalted Vaishnavas. They end up doing yatras. Actually, I'm now in Odisha. What I was hearing is Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj. Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj is a very senior acharya in your movement. He is doing a yatra in Jagannath Puri, where 800 devotees are coming from all around the world, UK, everywhere. And he will be doing the yatra probably in the first week of October. So when you go with the devotees, like 4 or 5 days, your mind, as Prabhuji mentioned, your frequency, you're totally turned off, and your frequency is totally focused here. And that's something I came to know. And do you know where this year Radhanath Maharaj is doing the yatra? Which place? Does anybody know? He also does in Kartik in one of the dhams.
When is Kartik starting and ending, Prabhu?
Kartik, when is Kartik starting India? I don't have the dates.
October 6 it starts.
Hmm.
Okay.
October 6th to probably November
Maybe
6th.
November first week.
Number 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Mayapur, Prabhuji.
Yes, Madhu.
It's Mayapur, Prabhuji. Maharaj is doing in Mayapur, Radhanath Swami Maharaj.
Oh, Radhanath Swami Maharaj. This year he's doing in Mayapur.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Wow, nice. Very nice. So Maharaj will be in Mayapur doing the yatra for 8 to 9 days. Then Bhakti Rasamnath Maharaj is doing Jagannath Puri. And
Prabhuji, do you know the dates, Prabhuji, when Bhakti Maharaj is
yeah,
doing Jagannath
I'll send
Puri?
you I'll send in the group the the yatra flyers.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. This is the time to recharge our batteries. Our batteries are on the waning situation. It's getting down. It's getting discharged with so many distractions. So Kartik is a pious month where we should go and do some really pious credits and come back recharged for 11 months to go back to Kartik again. That's
And
how. Yes,
I'll
Prabhu.
tell one point. If I don't know whether Ranjan Prabhu you know or not. You know Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj. He is the one who went to IITs, and from his talks only Gauranga Prabhu and all of them got recruited. So that is Bhakti Rasamrit Swami Maharaj.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
He,
think IIT Kharagpur. He went to no in IIT Mumbai, right, Prabhuji?
right.
Yes. Uh,
He's the actually he Gauranga Prabhu's all got uh, knowledge through Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj.
yeah, Radheshyam Prabhu and Gorang Prabhu also
Yes.
came
Radhesham
back.
Radhesham Prabhu, yeah, I think Radhesham Prabhu was passed out, Prabhuji, by that time, I think.
Oh, okay. I heard somewhere means
Yes,
something
Prabhuji.
like that.
Radhesham Prabhu also came from Bhaktirasamrita Swami Maharaj.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
They
he
were
must
staying
have
in
come.
the
Yeah.
same hostel because to get the food cooked and practice it. Yeah, I forgot. I have a YouTube video. We'll try to find it out. Probably.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, to Niranjan Prabhu, I wanted to tell that what is Bhakti Rasamrit Swami Maharaj.
Yeah, Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj is a glorious. He had a materially very glorious career. I think in Standard Chartered Bank, he was probably number two CEO, and then he left everything and joined. He has a glorious bhakti life and a successful corporate life, and and his the way he transitioned is written in Back to God and magazine. I read it like 10 years back in one of the Back to God. He was actually named. He was yeah. He has a. I would like you to read his bio so that you get some goosebumps as to how to what degree our acharyas have touched people of that stature to have given up and join Krishna consciousness and lead a life of Krishna consciousness. Awesome, awesome. He's practicing from Belgaum, but he's all around.
He's also doing like this project Prabhuji, same what Gauranga Prabhu has done.
Yes, Eco Village, yeah.
Eco village like that they are doing in Belgaum, especially. But the focus right now is on cow protection.
Yes, yes.
Starting, maybe it will eventually turn into eco village also.
Yes, yes, yes. Any yatra related flyers, if you get, please share in the group and people will get benefited. Okay.
Sure, Prabhu.
So let's end here. It was a great engaging discussion. Thank you so much for your kind attention and participation. Let's pray and offer obeisance at the lotus feet of all Vaishnavas by saying Vancha Kalpataru
Panchakalpatarubhyascha
Kripa
kripa
Sindhu
sindhu
Vacha
evacha
Patitanam
patitanam
Pavanebhyo
pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo
Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Vaishnav ki
ki
Jai
jai,
Nataraj Bhagavad Gita ki
ki
Jai
jai, Srila
Prabhupada
Prabhupada
ki
ki
Jai
jai,
Gaur Premanande Hari Hari
Him Jagannath Prabhu ki jai.